Hello, this is Kyou of Kyou System. I think I mentioned in either the previous episode or one of the other ones that I wanted to talk about, or no. I mentioned in one of the previous episodes that I was going to try a new schedule because the previous schedule that I had been following with trying to calling it a schedule is pretty generous, really. The previous approach that I've been taking to try and manage all of my various different hobbies and interests and projects and the like was proving to be fruitless, largely. Very much so, because I wasn't actually getting anything done for any of them. So self-defeating more than anything else. And how I was going to use this new approach that would kind of dedicate an individual day to each individual, I guess, subtask or project or the like. And since I made that video, I put this into place. So I just on Sunday, I went and I just drew. I just sat down and I opened up a draw pile canvas. I found that a draw pile works a little better for just freehand drawing, and then I go to Ace Sprite later to clean it up. But I opened up a draw pile canvas and I just drew. And I did this like all afternoon, all evening, and it was fantastic. Because normally when I try to draw, if I only dedicate like an hour or two, if that much, right? By the time I actually get warmed up, because it takes me a while to get warmed up for drawing since I haven't done it as much as I would like. By the time I actually get warmed up, I'm already quitting. So it's always just the frustration part of it where I'm trying to draw things and it doesn't look right. And then I quit by the time I actually get to where I'm wanting to be. This time around, however, I, had that initial warm-up, ramp-up phase, and then I was able to draw and just keep going and, actually get to a point to where I could draw, like, the kind of the baseline for an asset that I'm hoping to use down the road, which was really nice. And then today, I was like, all right, so yesterday was drawing. Today was music practice. So, specifically practicing playing the guitar and on my piano. So, again, so today I had to go into work, but after I got back, I just sat down and I just practiced. And it was honestly just the simple act of like sitting at the piano and just having the time not just bang out some exercises, practice the song I'm trying to learn, and then just having to quit, but being able to like go back and play other songs or like learn a new song that is just something fairly simple, something that's not part of like an assignment or anything like that, but just being able to just learn it and play it and have fun with it it felt amazing, honestly. Same thing with the guitar, just like, so I got as a gift to myself an electric guitar, and I was playing that as well. And again, just sitting there, or I was standing, but even just playing simple little, I wasn't playing scales, wasn't playing whatever, I did do that, but even just sitting there and playing simple bits of melodies and things like that, and just having fun with it, and giving myself the time to have fun with this, it was the important part. I felt amazing, just completely turned my whole mood around, because work was kind of dragged on, and I had to deal with whatever it was, and like annoyances. But after doing this, I felt way better. Still feel way better. So much so that it's almost a little bit ridiculous. So clearly, this new approach is definitely very helpful. But the thing that's always kind of stuck out to me is just with creative expression in general. I found that it, like nothing else, does wonders for my mood, and not just in terms of like, oh, it just makes me feel better, but it's like it actually genuinely fills me with great joy to, not just in terms of like expressing myself, but just to like partake in the very act of creating, or just channeling the music through you when you play, or just sitting down and just letting yourself draw whatever and things like that. That, and also like whenever, like the times when I've written poetry, or the times when I've well, obvious example, things like seeing, like when I create when I finish a significant scene in, say, Remembrance or Permanence or Thera, I draw an asset for it and I get that through and I bring it to completion. I'm filled with this brilliant, shining, overwhelming feeling of joy and satisfaction that nothing else at any point, anytime, anywhere in my life has come close to. It's truly something. And it's in pursuit of this feeling that I have dedicated so much of my life and so much time and money and energy and other resources to bettering myself, to getting, not just bettering myself in general, but specifically in terms of like learning to draw better, learning to program better, learning to be not just like a developer, but like a game developer, learning how to make music, learning how to play instruments, all these things to try and maximize this feeling. Because and not just because, it feels good. Like, it's not just some hedonistic type of thing. It's also like it feels so much more meaningful to me. Like, it feels so much more substantial than so many other things, certainly, that others have put forth before me, or society has put forth before me as saying, this is important, or this is what you're supposed to care about. It's like, no, this shallow, soulless garbage. I don't care about that. But this, my God, there's nothing like it. And if you're listening to this, you probably are familiar with me and my body and my body of work. If not, you can check out my website, links in the description, and you can see that I've been a little bit prolific, more than the website shows, even, because there's some stuff that I have not uploaded that is, that I've created but not uploaded. And yet here I am still going at it harder than ever. But I feel like, I don't know, I really wish that I could try and share this feeling with others more, share that with you more, and trying to encourage others to be more creative themselves, to explore their ideas and express themselves and the like. Now, naturally, whenever I have someone who I know, like a friend of mine, talking about how they have an idea for something, or they have like a writing project, or if they have like characters in mind that they might want to draw, things like that, game ideas, I'm always, very, very eager to, perhaps overly so, to hear about them, to encourage them, this, that, and the other, because it's, and not just as like, I'm this, super altruistic, trying to encourage other people to do their best. It's more that, like, I am intensely hungry to see them bring forth these personal creations of theirs, because it's like, in that way, I can almost see the color of their soul, if that makes sense. Especially for smaller, much more personal, individual type projects. And it is truly intoxicating to see, I must say. But more than that, I feel like a lot of people I know are very dissatisfied with the direction their life is in, with the things, the other people that they know, etc., etc. And I feel like, just for me personally, from the meaning that I have found through creative work and creative expression, that these various different people might also be able to benefit in that way as well, which would be great. But, sometimes it's easy to encourage people and the like, say nice words and hope they get through. But I know a lot of people, there's just this, it can be difficult to, it's easy to read advice and they could just have someone say, hey, this is what you're supposed to do, so do it, right? Which is part of another reason why I've been working so hard and trying to publicize everything I create, because I want to try. I figured, if I can't just, through words and like direct interactions, encourage people to be more creative and to be more expressive, then perhaps I can encourage this through example better. Which is why, even with how intensely personal some of the things I make, many of the things I make, especially these days, are, I nevertheless will publish them. I'll just put them right up on my website, sometimes even up on Twitter, and not necessarily immediately. There are some things, especially some parts, like when I first finished Remembrance, it took quite a bit of. It took some time before I was ready to just share it publicly. Same thing with some of the collage art pieces that I made, but I nevertheless ended up doing it in the hopes that others might see that, well, hey, Kyou did this, and they did it by themselves. They did it with just, these freely available or like dirt cheap tools and programs and the like, using these assets that they just kind of scrounged together or stuff that they made themselves, that they didn't even have any kind of pre-existing skill beforehand. They just dove right into it and then learned the skill and then made what they wanted in that way. And if they can do all of that, perhaps I can too, in similar vein, which is why I release everything that I make for free. I don't paywall anything because it's, well, one, that was never the point in the first place, right? I was making this because I feel compelled to, and because it feels meaningful to me and it brings me great joy. But also, if everything was paywalled, then I couldn't very well hope to set much of an example because no one would be seeing it except people who would be paying. Now I don't have nearly the market reach to, be like, oh, even though I charge people for my content, everyone knows about it. Definitely not in my case. So hopefully I'm able to reach at least someone with it, right? And hopefully that person will be you. And to that end, I hope that I am able to get through to you, but if one way or another, that you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, and that you take care.